over 20 years, bringing you extraordinary entertainment. This is Extraordinary Entertainment. This is the Extraordinary Network. Live from Atlanta, Georgia, with your hosts, Chris, Rachàd, Jeremy, Summer, and Najee. This is Extraordinary Unplugged.
What's up, everybody?
What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to another edition of Extraordinary Unplugged. I am Christopher S. Walker.
I'm Rachàd West.
I'm Jeremy Scott.
No Tamika today.
You know what? I had just took a bite of my plum, and I was trying to catch my breath.
Yeah, you got it. So you had to do at least amount of syllables as possible. Go ahead,
What's
Summer.
going on, Stevie?
Hey,
I'm
Stevie.
sitting around here looking for some water.
Hey, Stevie, what's going on, love?
Stevie said he need that top, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So let me tell you, it's going.
I just came from work. I just went to the gym. I said I gotta throw on something respectable.
I'm going like
And
Merry
I
Christmas.
had this hanging out because I just had one of my plants quinceañeras.
Oh.
So I had this plant for 4 years, and I did not know that girl could grow flowers. And out of nowhere, she just started growing flowers.
You're like you come into yourself.
I said, my baby became a woman. So I threw her a quinceañera.
Okay.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Hey,
What's
cousin.
going on, Rachel?
Hi, Rachel.
Well,
hey,
so
Stevie.
Jeremy, because we haven't seen, you've been so busy working, we have not seen your apartment, and I'm trying to see what's different. I don't know if it's something different. Is the mirror new?
Different.
Or did you paint the trim?
Ain't nothing different.
No, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay, all right. It's beautiful. I just had to get it out.
Yeah, it's nice.
Jeremy is a good. He seems like a very good interior designer. You be doing interior designing, Jeremy?
I tell people that all the time. I get that compliment often, but I only know how to do things for myself.
Okay.
So if somebody wanted me to decorate for them, I don't really have the skill set for that, because if you don't like what I like, now I'm mad at you and I want to do it.
You gonna take it personal? Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. People are too picky to be just doing, unless they say do it exactly how you have it. No.
Let me
And I got this trim around here because people need to know they're in the pleasure dome.
Okay.
About to go down.
My.
My. You better batten the hatches. You better put the helmet on, ho.
Oh gosh, you in for a ride.
It's that pole that's sitting right behind him for me.
I know. I'll be noticing that pole. I'll be like, so we'll be going down.
This actually my canopy bed.
I know, but it looked like a pole.
Strip pole. I'm gonna put my stripper pictures in the chat with y'all.
Oh, sure. Now I want to see them now.
Yeah, Summer. We like, let's see them.
Look, you know how to climb all the way to the top.
I do. I have very strong legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do look like you got some very strong legs, Jeremy.
But I ain't do nothing to get them. They came.
They just came.
Oh, they just came.
They came with the warranty.
With the warranty.
Child, because I be walking outside. I went to the Panda Fest. All these gym bros ran up on me like very muscular men. They were like, your calves, your legs. Like, what are you doing? I was like, baby, I got it from my Miami.
I was about to say,
got it from my Miami. I don't know.
Okay, so I heard you say something that I've never heard of, the Panda Fest.
Yes,
yeah, they
the
just
Panda Fest, also known as the scam. So it's sharing like indigenous, it's sharing like Asian cultures and people from around the world.
Oh, I get it
It-
now.
yeah, and so every culture from the Asian culture like came from around the world and shared their food, their dance, their culture. I had never been to a place that was so expensive. I've never paid that much for Asian food.
Oh,
And let me tell you this right now. They ain't gotta worry about me.
Never again.
never again.
I paid $23 for a chicken skewer. Baby, I
Okay.
could have went to Applebee's
Okay.
for
No.
$23.
Mm.
And got
They,
an appetizer, entree, and a dessert.
but the people said that it was a money grab. It's a whole bunch of videos about it on because they've been other cities because they toured the
Mhm.
country and it ain't never been that expensive. So they
Mm.
came to Atlanta and they tried to gouge the girls.
See, they be thinking we down here just all living.
Balling.
That's what it
But
is.
Atlanta, the biggest flex. I'm telling you, we be flexing down here. It ain't the
But they ain't
reality.
gotta worry about me.
Stop coming out here thinking we balling like that. We make do what it do.
Look,
Like
I
they
that.
could have
dipping
went to
into the
Kiku.
Beyonce. I was about to say they dipping into Beyonce tickets. What?
Exactly. I could have went down to the Kiku. I could have went to Wendy's. Baby, packed up. Shit.
Who else was that just did a Chris Brown
Hmm.
just came. I mean, just come in with a concert. I don't know if it already happened.
I got a Secrets Brown one day. I am a huge fan.
All
I
right.
am not a Chris Brown girl.
I'm a huge
Yeah.
You know, and this is
I
because
mean,
I see his talent over his BS.
yeah. No, I don't doubt that he's talented. I'm not. I guess I just don't have anybody I like enough. Nobody. Like, I'm lying.
Yeah.
I'm lying. I'm lying. Jill Scott, I did go see her like for a birthday several years ago.
Oh,
I
okay.
think she put
Um,
on a good show, don't she?
she,
I heard that she does.
she does put on a good show, and I did go see Anthony Hamilton.
Mm,
How
Now I'm
was
gonna tell you
that?
something about Anthony Hamilton.
come on, Hamilton.
Okay, that nigga gonna sing his neck off. You understand me? And his
Hmm.
background singers are they lead singers. They not background singers. They not just keeping a harmony together. These people need their own separate record deals. Bless you.
I
Bless you.
think that they have the Hamiltons, right?
Y-
Um,
Yeah.
I think that's his background singers. I'm
Hmm.
a vocalist myself. They have a group called the Hamiltons, which is like Anthony Hamilton's background singers,
Hmm.
and they are really well known in the industry, and they can sing.
They can sing. Okay.
What's
Hmm.
going on, Wise Flow?
Hi, honey. Yeah. When I tell
Yeah.
you that
I'm
group,
away.
they one at a time, and then who opened up for him? What's his name? Love
Oh,
Music,
music
Music
Oh
Soul
soul
Child.
child.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
music
a good one.
open for Anthony Hamilton.
Yep.
I can see that.
No, there's something wrong with the billing.
Well,
It was a
maybe.
long time ago, but yeah, he did, and he was passing roses out and everything.
For
Something wrong
sure.
with the
It
For
was
billing.
sure.
like a concert. It was like a multi-person concert. So
Oh, so it was more of a
Anthony was just
concert.
last.
Okay. There are very few singers who could hit for hit go against my music soul child.
I love music now. I ain't gonna lie to you now. I love him.
Yeah, he's
That
definitely a
that
good
man
artist.
had a run.
Yes, he
Uh
He
huh.
did.
he
He
had a
definitely
run
is
in
a
this
really, really
industry.
good artist.
Love.
Speaking of that, well, we can go ahead and jump into tonight's show.
I know we just a talking.
Look, this is what
We
we,
be
but this is what
chatting it
we
up.
do. Look, this is what we do because we only see each other once a week, so this is what
Yeah.
we do.
And we don't get a
Uh,
chance to see each other in person a lot, just for our viewers. We communicate throughout the week, but in person we don't. But it just proof that we need to see each other more often in
yeah,
person.
Yes.
that's what that is. That's
Amen.
exactly what that is.
Nah,
But I'm ready. We ready.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. What we
if
got
y'all
going on, Rashad?
All right, yo. This is one I carry over topic from last week. We got Wale and Azalea Banks trade barbs online after she trashes his career. Then we got Zeus Network CEO exposed by Destorm and Natalie Nunn Following that, we got Taylor Swift taking legal action after latest Kanye West, whatever, let me tell you, Kanye West be doing too much. Uh, then we got Wilson Cruz unleashes on Terrence Howard for weird comments about refusing gay rules. I can't wait to get into that.
Me
Uh,
neither.
then we got Netflix pop the balloon deflates as the challenge star Johnny Bananas. Hot air ignites controversy and racist allegations. You know what? I knew this more was going to come out because folks jealous. But go ahead, let's get into it. Let's talk about Wale and Azalea Banks.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, this is one of those topics that we were supposed to get into last week, but unfortunately, time constraint, so we didn't get a chance to hit it. But we're gonna definitely hit it this week. So let's get into this situation here. So there was a lot of back and forth in this within this topic here. So I'm going to put up a few of these tweets or Instagram posts, I should say, that Azalea Banks had said, and then we're going to get into the nitty gritty of it all. But here's some of them. She said, "Is Wale what is considered a tether? I'm not sure. I fully get it, but it a tether someone who wants to benefit from Black culture while also maintaining that they are not like Black Americans in some way, and for all that Africanism, and you know that was a word."
That's
Uh,
right.
and the tethers have why does Africa still look like shit? And why do
Ooh,
they come?
Ooh,
Can Wale be big in Nigeria, or do Nigerians generally think he's lame and prefer Burna Boy? That's just one.
you know what? When I just want to make a comment
Mhm.
about Azalea Banks. She's a troll. Okay, if those of
She
y'all
really is.
don't know her,
What's going on, DJ Rick?
she's a huge
Hey, Rick.
troll when
hey
it
DJ
comes to
Rick.
that doggone internet. I just want to say that. But I love Wale. Wale is very talented.
Wale
Come on.
is
Can
very
can
talented.
I
That's
tell
all.
y'all
Mhm.
I'm in rare form tonight? I'm telling you.
Okay. All
I'm in
right.
rare form tonight and I don't feel like holding my motherfucking tongue.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Woo.
Come on with it.
Go
I'm
ahead. I'm gonna
tired
take
of
it down.
I'm tired of this alley cat. How an alley cat gonna talk about a possum? How you gonna talk about somebody's career, Azalea, when you and him is running neck to neck? Both could have just went down and applied at the Family Dollar.
Ain't nobody would
As far as I'm concerned, both of y'all could have easily been stocking at the Family Dollar. Put yourself to better use. And the sad part about it is, Azalea Banks is incredibly talented, but you can't see the talent because the bitch stay talking about everybody.
everybody.
Shut
Yes.
the fuck up and rap. Like if you would just shut the fuck up and actually do what God gave you, then maybe somebody would know you for other than running your funky ass mouth.
Ooh.
Mm,
All you do is talk. That's all we know you for. You talk,
mm,
you run your mouth, you talk about people, and then here's the other thing. You for all purposes, I like the girl. I like her talent. But every time you ever look up in a bitch in something, Nicki Minaj, and it's draining. It's like every time somebody brings you up, it ain't about no new music. It ain't about nothing. It's about you being nasty to other
Mhm.
people. And don't nobody want to be a part of that. And Wale, I'm sorry, he just caught it straight because I do like Wale, but he's not on my palette. Like I ain't nobody ever I know ever got in the car and said, turn that new Wale on. So it's just like, girl, what are we talking about? Why y'all why y'all Z-list artists can't lift each other up?
Not Z.
Lift each other up and hold each other down
Work,
because y'all the only
collaborate.
ones who can
Yeah.
do it. Because the rest of us don't give a fuck.
At all.
Period.
At all. Like I'm like, this is ridiculous. So y'all know I always like to come with the receipts on this whole situation. So the feud between Azalea Banks and rapper Wale has been reignited after 212 hopped on X, formerly Twitter, to diss his career. Banks fired the first shot after Wale posted the following tweet, which was one of the tweets that I had throughout. I'm not selling my soul. I'm not playing them other games either. Ain't no era. I ain't never stop. Hope this helps with the nostalgia bait he wrote. Um, and then there's, like I said, there's some of the other ones that I wanted to show you guys too of this whole thing. Because like I said, that was just one of the first ones. She went on and said, Wale, Wale, you're still a dumb colonized Nigerian who doesn't understand that the extremely low impact you've had in music is all due to your desperation to be as non-threatening and agreeable as two corny white producers. Huh. I wouldn't have a damn thing to say to you, or I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing, but it basically that's pretty much what it was of what she was saying. And then I see that this was stating from a comment that I guess Wale had said.
Yeah.
My favorite thing on this app is you telling everybody what they should be doing. Life is hard as fuck, and yet you find time to tell everybody everywhere all the time how to do things. Um,
Hmm.
you what's that? You are way too kind to us.
You know, you know what I feel like there's really like just the I was through with Azalea when she had her sickening comments about the Alphabet Mafia.
Hmm.
I was done with her when she, because she had a lot to say about a lot of artists and a lot of people, and that little that little beef she tried to start with Lil Nas X.
Hmm.
She lost, by the way, but
Of course, of
it was
course.
just it's like one of those things. It's like, so you really showing your true colors. You either have decided not to ever come out with any more music, because like I will tell people, there's the Alphabet Mafia will support an artist or break an artist. So you gotta pick and choose your battles, and it's not the battle you want. And I just feel like she's hurt somewhere, but
Hmm.
not even able to have the intelligence, the emotional intelligence to even realize that that's what's going on.
I
And that's,
feel like Azalea needs to focus on the effects of sucking her thumb so long. Um,
that,
perhaps if we, looked into our own windows,
Yes.
we would find what needs to be fixed there.
yeah,
But she's sucking her thumb and cussing people out because it's rounded out the front part of her mouth. I don't know like what to give her besides, just like I'm not tuning in to Wale anymore. Like back in the day, yeah, I could cut on some Wale,
yeah,
but I ain't never played an Azalea Banks song. And as a
ever.
matter of fact, I can't name one. Not one. I don't know anything she's ever done besides get on social media and talk shit about people with her miserable fucking ass. And the only other thing I remember her being on is Wild and Out. And I
Yeah.
heard them checks is not big. So, sis, maybe you should worry about getting your coins up,
Hmm.
and maybe you'll have something else to focus on, because I just don't think like anybody who's going out their way, you don't know shit about Nigeria or Nigerians or what they into or
Exactly.
what he into. You
Exactly.
don't even know this man. Yet you have so much to fucking say. What do we know about you besides you're a
Right.
miserable, whiny bitch
Say it.
and a self-hater? That's
Say
who
it.
you are.
But
You don't like yourself.
it's literally a raccoon talking about a possum. It's
Hmm.
just like,
Mhm.
girl, both of y'all in the alley, both of y'all
Both.
hopeless. And then every time you carry your ass around somewhere, Azalea, like when you went down to the Wild and Out, you had a problem with them. You went to the Breakfast Club, you had a problem with them. You went over to the other place where you was on the movie set, you had a problem with them. It might be you.
It is.
It's
Just
giving
Everybody.
Tamar.
take a
It's
hint.
giving Tamar. It's giving you always getting into it with somebody, honey.
Hmm.
Cause like Ernestine said, everybody ain't lying on you.
Miss Ernestine.
Everybody
Mm-mm.
ain't lying.
Everybody ain't lying on you.
Everybody is not lying. What's
Everybody
going on,
just came
Trey?
together to lie on your no, 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 no. That ain't how the
Exactly.
world works.
Right.
You might get a few bitches
Right.
to tell a few lies. Everybody ain't came together to tell no lie on you.
At all, and that's another thing too in this situation. Even going back to it all with the facts of it all is like, why are you always, just like what we was talking about earlier, why are you always in other people's business? Like, why are you always starting stuff with somebody? Is it because you have nothing really going on in your life, so you got to come and start constantly start stuff with other people, or what's going on with you? because like you start to give very miserable.
Yep.
That's what it
Well,
is.
the
You get
reason she is miserable is because she can't get out of her own way. The
Yeah.
girl is so talented. She's had so many great opportunities thrown at her, but she's so miserable because she's not where she wants to be in her life, and she has the talent to be where she wants to be,
And
but
time
she
hmm
can't do it.
and time is
She
running
can't
out.
figure it out because she's in her own way. I wish her the best of luck because if you listen to her rap, you listen to the way she constructs music, the talent is there. It's just like, but bitch, we don't want to put up with your ass every time we if we got to take that with this, then we good.
exactly. But here's some of the things that went on with this whole situation too. So it said that Banks hopped into his mentions, accusing the rapper of not having any hits and claiming that his music style is generic.
But
Nigga, the
why?
only
Why she
right,
did that?
right
Why did you just randomly go to that man page starting shit? If you had some business, you wouldn't be your ass round to nobody else Instagram because you wouldn't have time to do that.
She
at
ain't
all.
working or selling albums or making any.
Have you ever seen Beyonce on anybody Instagram post?
Absolutely not.
Nobody.
She's doing her big one.
Woo!
She is following no one.
At all. At all.
Exactly.
And then like but here it says nigga the only hot song you ever made is riding in that black joint. It's no shade, but your rap swag and delivery and persona got something off in a very generic type of way. It's high key cause you African, no shade. You should have been African T-Pain. Like what
Mm.
the
Huh?
First of all, I wish all of the continent of Africa come after this bitch.
Yeah.
Uh with fucking hammers and motherfucking bow and arrows
Like
on her
in her.
motherfucking ass.
In her.
You know what I'm saying? Just finish this hoe. You know, like what more do you
Mhm.
have to first of all, Azalea, even if you put an album out, who gonna buy it?
Yeah. All right,
Who
because
Right.
gonna
we know
listen?
you.
Who gonna tune in? How many followers do you even have on your YouTube channel? Do you even have a YouTube channel? Because
Hmm.
at least if you're gonna be running your fucking dick sucker, you should be making a coin from it.
That
Go to
part.
bed, Azalea. Go to bed.
Right. Like I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like you got a serious issue. Like you really do. And you know what? Just for that summer, I'm actually gonna go and see how many subscribers she actually have on her YouTube channel.
I mean, I'm just making a point
She
while she's
has
calling out everybody else's stats.
so she has 600 and what's that? 600,000. What's that? 658,000. Yeah,
All right.
658,000.
That's a
Yep.
lot.
That is a lot.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Here's the problem,
So
though.
are they actually are they actual real people or are they bots?
yeah. Right, right.
But
That was
that's her YouTube.
She getting the
Yeah.
that's
bots.
her YouTube.
Here's the thing. What they there for?
Are they commenting on any music? Is there any new when's the last video she put out of
Let's go
her
ahead and check
doing her
that.
business? What she's
Let's go
supposed to
ahead
be
and check that. Let's see. What was
making
the
hits.
last
And how
one?
many hits has she even had? Let me Google that.
Here's the funny part right here, fam. Her last video was 13 years ago
Thank
Really?
on
you.
YouTube.
That's when she got those followers then. Cause or you know when you stay in in drama and in the
There
spotlight
you
with
go, Summer.
bullshit, then they'll go follow you because they want to see if you're gonna come out with something.
There you
These
go,
people
Summer.
are not trying to check for her musically because the hoe ain't putting out no music. Okay?
Say that,
What have you
Summer.
been doing with your time? Oh, I'm sorry. Trey. No, seriously though, like, bitch, what is you doing? Like, you got so much to say, checking other people's stats. These people are still making some music. What the fuck are you doing? Are you doing any writing for anybody? Because you could be behind the scenes. Since everybody suck, why don't you write for them?
Right.
And just to go on and wrap this on up, nobody give a fuck what you doing.
No.
They
No.
run around there to see what your messy, negative ass got to say, because that's the only attraction that's you're putting out. You could be putting out music and shutting the fuck up. You could be commenting on things that matter and make sense, like political views or things
Mm.
to progress. Because I know she's an activist, but for you to hop your big stank,
Oh.
let me be nice. For you to hop your ass in somebody else's comments for no reason and attack their career, which, to be quite honest, is a little more successful than yours. I can name a Wale song. I cannot name an Azalea song.
And the many collabs that Wally has had.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And
Nobody's
speaking of
checking
Wale,
for Banks.
but here's the funny part. Speaking of Wale, here's the part where he clapped back. Now here's the part I like right here, is that you clap back on her ass because she deserved this shit. So what he said, he clapped back. He said, the chicken butcher lady saying my only hit is off a video game I never played before is funny as fuck. I don't even think that song is on DSP. We
Mm.
stand. He continued referring to Banks, who practices brujeria. What's that? What is
Bruja.
that? Bruja. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, so she
practices.
came out and said she was a witch.
Oh,
You know what?
okay.
That's it. I'm not even surprised. Like it's like okay, you ever heard somebody tell you something? They be like tell you something about themselves, and you be like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised. You
That
know. But my thing is, and this is no shade to anyone who practices witchcraft because it's good
Mm-hmm.
and bad. Hers must not even be effective because she can't even benefit herself. She's not putting out the good energy to even benefit from her actual witchcraft. And I'm just saying this because if she wanted to bring that out, what's the point? Because you're not
As somebody who practices myself, what an embarrassment.
right.
What an embarrassment to say. You're not in our coven. I remember
All
one
right,
time.
you're not a rock.
This man gonna say to me. He said, we had been dating for a while. He said, I hope you never use no magic on me. It was the most offensive thing I've ever heard. Because you want to know why?
Hmm.
Why would I waste my time and energy on you? Why would a deity worry about you? It ruined the whole experience for me. I am never going to waste my magic on worthless things.
Right.
You got the show enough have pissed me off if I didn't went home thinking about you. I ain't wasting my good herbs and stones on your ass.
Okay. Let me give y'all some background. So we were talking about how many platinum records or whatever
hmm
records she sold.
hmm
Um, First of all, the song 212, and I've never heard it, couldn't tell you nothing that it's about. But it peaked within the top 40 of the regional charts. Guess where? Ireland, Scotland, and the United Kingdom. Ain't now one of
Oh.
them United States.
Oh.
Mm.
So let's just start there. And that 212 song is the most popular song that she has. And we don't know about it.
Well, damn.
So,
It probably was the African she talking about who came over there to support her ass. The
Right.
mm,
African she referencing them probably the ones who over there bumping that shit. It's a heavy African population in the UK. So, girl,
hmm
why is you talking about people? Just shut the fuck up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what are you doing? Like, but here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this last part of what he said because, like I said, I definitely wanted to finish what he had said because he needed to defend himself in this. So he said reportedly sacrificing live. He said she's up here reportedly sacrificing live chickens in her closet. Well, damn.
Oh, and look,
and that song of hers came out in 2011, by the way.
Okay, for that old song. So
That
way
no, that's
before.
when them stats happened in 2011.
Imagine
Mm.
sacrificing a cat and you still ain't shit.
Right. What are you doing it all for?
Imagine
If
going in
I'm
and
doing magic, I would be sprinkling a little fucking success in my fucking life.
my point
I would
exactly.
not be using, first of all, words are spells. And I
Yes,
wouldn't be using them to tear anybody down because
exactly.
anything that you're doing with magic or ill intent will be returning to you, honey. That's
Returning to
just
you.
the
Yep.
law of the land. Okay.
That is.
hey,
That's energy. Yep.
it's
But here's
simple.
here's my thing though with her is why are you and like it still doesn't give me a why you went on in head and you randomly attacked this man. Like it just was very random. You ignited a whole nother feud that you had in the past with this man. For what reason? Because it's still not giving a full reason of why you attacking this man and his
But let,
native land.
let me tell you something. The same way I feel about Trump people.
Ah.
You cannot reason with the unreasonable. You cannot try to figure out the pattern of somebody who is clearly disturbed. Her
Right.
her her brain waves, the wavelengths don't even make sense to her. They won't make sense to us.
Yeah.
So some people are not deserving of your wrath. They deserve your pity. I feel sorry for Azalea.
Hmm.
Somebody
Right.
so talented, wasting it all, feuding with people on Beyonce's internet.
I can't even tell she's talented. I was like, I don't even know. Like just like Summer said, I don't think I got great memory, but she was not memorable in the music industry enough for me to even remember any of her
No,
work.
there was a point in time where she was Dolce. There was a point in time where she is exactly where
2011.
Dolce is. She was hot. She was interesting. She was doing movies and she was doing music. She was something to see.
Okay.
Her personality and
Just
her
went out of my
nasty
way.
spirit got overshadowed her immense talent, which is saying
Right.
something because the girl is a beast. And look at what she wasting it on.
Mm.
Feuding with Wale. You couldn't even feud with somebody worth it. You making all kind of bad choices.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
you said it.
that's just
You
so
said it.
unfortunate. Just
Y'all
so
ready?
unfortunate.
You ready to
But
move
you know what
on?
though? I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna say this though. We're gonna move on from her and her foolishness.
Please.
Azalea Banks, find something that's better to do with your time and stop messing with Wale because that man ain't thinking about you, obviously. And stop initiating old feuds with people. And do better with your witchcraft because whatever witchcraft you doing ain't working.
It ain't working.
It ain't working.
Get them chickens out of the closet.
All right. We move, we moving on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we move right on, right on, right along. Um, so our next one is this is a big mess. I want to give a shout out uh JR, who is one of our viewers. He gave us this topic, and this is why I love our viewers because this is what Extraordinary Unplugged is all about. Because you guys are our extra extended co-hosts. So he was the one that sent this topic: Zeus Network CEO exposed by Destorm and Natalie Nunn. Um, this topic was a lot. Um, which actually, this topic actually could cover the whole entire show if it
I've
wanted
actually
to.
been following this topic and I'm excited to talk
Yes.
about it.
So then you already know what I'm talking about, Jeremy.
Yes, I do. And this
Yeah,
involves some witchcraft too.
it's
It
gonna be a
seriously
witchcraft
does. We're
show.
on topic.
That's good. Let's get into it.
Yes. So let me go ahead and Jeremy, go into what you've retrieved so far from it, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm pulling up all my receipts and stuff.
Okay, so what I know regarding this topic, there was a gentleman, a social media influencer who we all may recognize, who I don't know by name offhand, who um who was given the who was partnering with Lemmy when they were building the Zeus network, when it wasn't even called Zeus, it didn't have a name. They had compiled all of their resources and fame together to create this network by using their notoriety and fame to kind of push
Hmm.
this network and give it credibility, and credence. So while they were doing that, the Lemmy promised them a certain amount of kickback, a certain amount of investment investment into the company. So they a certain amount of things were supposed to come back to them. That did not happen. He's acting as though he did it all on his own. And Natalie, like always, she just there. I don't even know what the fuck she got to do with this. But it's like
Right.
it's it's Natalie is the clearly the star because she came from a bigger network and that gave it credence also. And they are
She
pretty much
claims
just
this
feuding,
is what
going
she
back and
claims,
forth.
Jeremy. This is what she claims. She claims that they had Lemmy was trying to get at her or trying to have some type of relations with her or something like that.
Who,
Um,
Natalie?
Well,
yeah,
Natalie's
Natalie.
a hoe. She probably would have fucked anyway, so I don't even know.
No.
You
No.
know.
No.
I thought
Oh.
the man was gay.
I thought so too. And you can't tell me otherwise. I don't care what.
I thought so too.
The man is a homosexual.
The man definitely, the man definitely gives me gay vibes.
That's the
When somebody
I
had went
mean,
down
look
there and
at
said
him.
he was,
The person you thinking of, Jeremy, is Destorm.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
D
D Storm is
Storm.
gay.
No,
No,
No, no,
no, no,
no.
no,
I'm
he
no,
talking
always
no.
about the
gay.
one he partnered with. I think that's what you're talking about.
Destorm is the one he partnered with initially when they were trying to come up with because Destorm is the one who actually came up with the name Zeus, and they went with that.
Now,
So yeah.
now let me tell you, that man does a lot of things, but he ain't lying on that man. He not lying on that man. Don't do nothing but go on the internet and make people laugh. He is not lying and telling no story about this man. He released a whole video explaining the whole process. Him
Yep.
Yeah.
and King Batch. I only know King Batch name because I was fuck. But outside of
Oh.
that,
Ah,
he
Lord.
don't nobody really know. You know what I mean? They use their fame and popularity to kind of give the network some credence, and then for him to turn on them like that is wild.
Mhm.
Well, what
But
he
what do you
did,
expect?
think about tonight's conversation. This is what I'm comparing it to.
mhm.
Because you're using social media influencers and people who, because he was nobody anybody gave a damn about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So you're taking people who already have a following, who already have some, a little bit of fame, behind them already, and you're trying to link up with them. And D Storm even said he gave about $150,000 when his part of the deal wasn't even supposed to include a financial investment. So once
Exactly.
you done got everything, this man partnered with you, was the first partner you had, him and a girl named Amber, I think he said. But
The white girl. Yeah.
yeah, he had two people that partnered with him. They were supposed to be using their influence and their following to give some validity to the social network that he was trying to put out. And D Storm is the one who coined the name Zeus, and everybody was like, okay, we're gonna go with that, because the name he was trying to come up with was the social experiment or the social network or something like that, which
Yeah,
was
but something
already
like
a
that.
movie. It was already a movie that was out, so you can't even use that, like, it wasn't original. But anyway, after he got everybody's um money and investments and stuff and promised to pay as soon as the network made profit, that's when he pulled back and was like, nah, 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 fuck y'all, or whatever, and left the scene, but that's the same thing that Mojo Jojo did on the tonight's conversation to the rest of the cast people. So you not paying people. But I really feel like this, and I'm just gonna end on this. I really thought that the Zeus network was a trash network in the first place, because
Bingo.
that's just my personal opinion, because it was very exactly low vibrational. Everything that they doing on there is just fighting and being, you ain't
That
doing shit. Like, what are y'all really doing on this network besides being hoes? Cause uh what is her name? The Puerto Rican princess, her ass was on there basically hoeing out people, being a pimpstress, and Natalie had all the rest of them fighting, you know.
You talking about
So
Mhm.
Jocelyn? You talking about
yeah,
Jocelyn?
Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess.
Did you ever really
n-
let me
n-
speak?
now,
Yeah, she was hoeing.
if you notice, Jocelyn ain't been her ass around there. I wonder what happened.
Well,
But
Yeah, I noticed
Jocelyn got in trouble for some of the shit she was doing to them girls that was on her show. She was doing a
that.
lot of shit, and then they exposed her ass for snorting powder on there, and then the husband was doing inappropriate things. It had just went too far over there.
Mm,
I tell you.
that just says a lot.
But that's the that's
but
the network's energy was all of that anyways.
but
Trash.
Summer, that what you said really hit the nail on the head for me. That's why I'm not a fan. I told y'all this so many times. I'm not a fan of the housewives, and I'm not a fan of the bad girls club and stuff, because what the fuck are y'all doing? Like,
Yeah.
not just the girls, but the network. So y'all
Yeah,
had these hoes come in these people Airbnb, fight
That's
like
and tear it
dogs,
up.
and not even offer them no therapy. Y'all never offered them a chance to get help. I'm like, at the end of this, they don't ask them, like, they don't do nothing for them. They don't do anything. And my partner was like, nah, they just let them out in the streets. So you got these wild dogs out here fighting in these people's house, and then you release them out into the wild again.
Wild banshees, like my daddy used to say, a bunch of wild banshees.
Can you imagine just being known for fighting bitches you don't
And
know?
that's it. And they got the nerve to be trying to call themselves entrepreneurs.
That's the part that got me.
Like you try to you what is your business? What are you trying to do? Because I
Pussy,
see
Right.
nothing.
selling it.
And then I watched his interview on the Breakfast Club where he was talking about like there is an appetite and a desire for this because shows do have to have a certain level of drama. But let me tell you something, sir. Most people don't know what the fuck they want until you give it to them. Had
Exactly.
you
Mm-hmm.
been,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to the default setting. You're just creating what's already been created. How about you do something new that inspires people, that helps people along the journey? You got these rabid animals in here fist fighting, and what is it doing? What?
Not a
How is
damn
it
thing.
helping us as a people, as a
Just
culture?
like Trey said, it's exploiting them.
Yep,
That's what
it
Yeah.
they're
is.
doing. That was their whole purpose. Take off all your clothes and then fight. So that the narrative, especially against our people, can continue. That all we know how to do is fucking fight.
And you
And
know what?
then
I
if
know.
you
You know what I
notice,
noticed. You know what I noticed. I want to throw this out there. What white shows do they have that's like this? Because I
n-
have not
n-
seen not one.
None.
none. Well, it is some of the white housewife hoes out there fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like
But
that
that's the
does
Bravo
exist.
network. They ain't taking everybody.
Can I
Yeah.
tell y'all something from a black person to who cares about the culture? This
Hmm.
is reaching its apex. I was watching the other day because you have the Zeus network, which I thought it couldn't get no lower, and then there's something called Now That's TV, and it's just the lowest of the low. And I watched the clip. I don't know what network this was on, but I watched the clip and Tommy from the Real Housewives, the Love and Hip Hop pulled a gun out on people.
What?
Oh, I
He
read about
pulled a
that.
gun out and shot people. Where is this going?
What the hell?
It's only a matter of time before someone loses their life trying to become a reality TV star. And I don't want
Right.
that for nobody.
Yeah, that I ain't going out like that. I wouldn't. I care about myself and my people enough to realize that there's there's some ways that I will not exit this earth, and I'm not gonna be exiting this earth on no foolishness.
No, like that's terrible.
I
That
tell
is
people this
terrible.
all the time. I could have died on the east side of Detroit.
Mm,
I ain't about to come nowhere. I ain't come here for no bullshit.
right.
And you got to leave it at that. But let me tell you this. I watched another video because I went down a rabbit hole summer about when they put that video out, and there was another young lady who was talking about the evil demonic energy that's around there. And
Mm.
she made some valid points. Most of the time I'll be like, these people just bullshitting. She made some valid points. Natalie goes on to say, let's pray to the baddie gods.
Ooh.
And then the other person said, I only pray to God. Like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And she insisted on praying to some God that she didn't create it. Or they didn't create it. Was the oddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That
And
shit sound odd.
you have to be conscious because for the most part, the devil is a deceiver.
Mm.
Yes.
But in his deception, there's always a little truth.
Mm.
So that it wouldn't be intriguing if it wasn't. So that immediately piqued my attention because I'm like, who the fuck is she? What is she praying to? What's she talking about?
Mm.
That kind of stuff frightens me.
All I know is that people who lead other people astray, it's not going to end well for you. It's
Nope.
just not. And you pulling from the depths of the black magic hole that you want to, because it is some spirits out here that are stuck, and they will go ahead and help you get where you need to
Trey.
go, which
They
is
gonna
into
capitalize.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. You know, these dark spirits that are trapped and they are tormented and tortured and shit like that, and you don't know who you calling on. You better be careful out here
You better
just
be
saying
real
shit.
careful.
they'll latch on, and then you wonder why everything you do gonna fail.
Exactly. You know
Mm.
what? I think this is gonna be the theme of tonight's show. I tell you, but we got all type of sorcery
And
and
that
witchcraft and
bull,
all
that
type of
bull
stuff going
yeah.
on.
Hmm.
Well, let me
Yeah,
tell you this. I say this all the time because so many people are so turned off by witchcraft, but witchcraft is in the Bible.
It
Witchcraft,
literally the Bible.
witchcraft, witchcraft is literally science. It's medicine. It's all
mm-hmm.
around us. And
Mm,
people think because they can explain science that it makes it something different than magic, than the
yeah,
divine. I
right.
can't explain electricity. I know the shit magical. I can't explain plumbing. I know that God, that's divinity. For
You know,
Yes.
somebody to have that in their mind and be able to execute it, that is divinity. So you have to be careful of what you speak of.
because
There's
it's
certain
all
things
real.
I don't even talk about because I know I'm divinely protected. The prayers of my grandmothers and forefathers go before me.
Speak.
I'm divinely protected. So there's things I wouldn't even tempt to say because I don't want to test it.
I always
Period.
tell people the reality of it is, witchcraft is something that's been embedded into our society. Everything we do, and if you talk about in every religion, there is a form of witchcraft. But for those that want to pretend like they don't have witchcraft in Christianity, where do you think the altar came from? What do you think? Doggone drinking the blood.
Right.
All of that is witchcraft, and I
And you're praying to a spirit you don't see. Ain't that what we
Exactly.
doing?
it's witchcraft.
So
Hmm.
it's really about religion was created to enslave all
Absolutely.
of these indoctrinations,
Come
and
on,
if
Summer.
they
You talking
allow
tonight.
people,
You talking
it
tonight, Summer.
okay, if they really uh would allow us to know the real truth about all of this, what we're capable of, then this government would not be as it is. They would not be able to govern us, so to speak, because we would be free thinkers like we were designed to be.
Hmm.
But they
Mm-hmm.
cannot control us and we be free thinkers at the same time. So whatever they're going to do and teach you
Yep.
via media, social media, all that shit is going to be to keep you distracted and confused and not knowing who you are.
Well, remember when they said in the Bible that God is going to come and kill your firstborn sons.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put this blood
Lamb.
above your
Not a
door,
lamb. Mm.
Yep.
so why do you think God has nothing to do with witchcraft? And then God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son. It's witchcraft
Mhm.
all throughout the Bible. And I
Why
think
when you
that
go to church, you go to the altar and they put that oil on your forehead and make it in a cross
Anoint the
and
head
then
with
lay
oil.
hands on you.
I think the type of religion that I practice, it's omni. It's like, to me, witchcraft is the same as Baptists. It's the same as all of these religions have a structure and it's all very similar. And I think that it's just frustrating when people are so quickly to denounce the practices of our ancestors before they take a moment and think and say, this got us through where we are right now. Because the Bible would have still had your ass in bondage, bitch.
Yep.
They were still
Mm-hmm.
using the Bible to rationalize your enslavement.
Yep. I always tell people, if you think about it, one of the greatest wonders of the world are the pyramids in Egypt. And if you think
Yes.
about it, those Egyptians were way before the Bible days, as we call them. Those people lived a different life because they were free, as some would say, free thinkers. They were able to be who they were put on earth to be. Then religion came. Religion suppresses our greatness. We have the power of God within because that's what God how God intended, but we can't even comprehend how to tap into that spirit, tap into that magic, as if you will, because we so focused on what we read in the book.
Rachàd, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Don't that sound like intent to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody hindering you from accessing your
Absolutely.
power. Doesn't
Absolutely.
that sound intentional?
Hmm.
And everybody always wonder like, where's God? Why God don't talk to us? God been trying to talk to us. We can't hear because we got our head stuck in the book.
Yes, exactly. And
Well,
you
they
don't
don't
open up
even
your
read the
mind.
book. First of
And-
all, half of the Christians don't read the Bible they claim to support.
exactly.
So, and then they pick through it to support them judging or attacking another person. And that's the only time they open it. Oh, let me see what scripture. I know it's a scripture in there that say this, but usually they're just following the lead of what someone
Yep.
else has told them. They have not thought about any of this, studied any of this, or done any of this on their own. They're just followers. If you think about it, just think about traffic.
Hmm.
When you see people, it could be two lanes, right?
They all.
Going in the same direction. They all gonna go to the right lane. Why the fuck?
Mhm.
It's two turning lanes right here. There's a left turning lane and a right turning lane. Why are y'all lining up over here? It ain't nobody in the left turning lane. But y'all, it's 10 of y'all in the right turning lane. Because you just doing what the car in front of you was doing. Because that's how conditioned we are to just follow the fucking leader.
Exactly.
And we what they call it, we just mimics.
Well, that's the wonderful thing about being queer. As a queer person, we had no choice but to dismantle the society that we saw because we don't fit into it. So you get to deconstructing everything that you see and know and unlearning so much because you know who you are. I was told that being gay was demonic. I know who I am. So I know that could not be true. So
Mm.
I had to deconstruct everything I heard. And I said, if that ain't true, then a lot of this shit must not be true. You had to do so much unlearning when that veil comes off of your eyes. Because
Hmm.
if they
Ooh,
had their way, you would work, produce another worker, and then die.
yeah. Yep. And if you think about it, like the only thing in life that's repetitive, or as they say, precept after precept. I hate that terminology because all it does is creating robots. Nobody really is getting this, until you break away from religious enslavement, because there's a such thing as idolizing the Bible. There's a such thing as idolizing religion. I always tell people that's why they really say, if you read in the Bible, the gospel according to John, the gospel according to Luke, these is just people's interpretation of their experience with God. They didn't mean for us to really just only listen to them. You're supposed to have your own walk, your own interpretation, your own experience. Every human, every animal, every tree has its own experience when it comes to this life that God created. And there's no
Exactly.
necessarily no wrong way to live unless you're hindering on someone else's life. But there's no wrong way. And then I always tell people, how many times you have to read the Bible to understand it? They say, oh, we're gonna have Bible study because I've read like books like Moby Dick. That book ain't changed. It's the same book. I have a great memory. I ain't got to read it again. Why the Bible is a book that you have to constantly read over and over again because it's indoctrination. They want you to. Everyone has their own interpretation of it, and they try to hold that interpretation over others. And if you have any kind, the book cannot. No book can condemn anyone or hold anyone.
Mm-mm.
Life is too grand.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Trey. And Rachàd, what you're saying is important too because the book is also so convoluted and they've edited so much there it isn't even linear. It doesn't make sense. It's so convoluted, and that's done intentionally also. They
Hmm.
want to confuse you. They want to, and then don't get me wrong, I think that the Bible's validity is just as important as the book of fairy tales. It
Hmm.
teaches us morality, it teaches us the structure of society, it teaches us right from wrong, it teaches us that there's context behind evil, there's context behind good. There's always something, there's lessons to be learned. The problem that comes along with it is when people, let me end this because we so off
Yeah.
track.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
was
end
just
this and
realizing
say
that we is
this.
way off topic.
When we had a discussion, when they taught you that the people who were burning the women who were witches were the right, when they got you to empathize with the people burning witches,
They claim we're
Hmm.
with you now.
that don't seem like the evil to you.
Yep,
But
that's it.
let's move it on
Yeah,
because
we'll be
we
Yeah,
all
we gotta move on from that. Like I said, again, I really hate that Lemmy, because for a long time I thought that he was the original creator of Zeus. So I'm mad at you out here deceiving the people, and you deceived your own team and just basically threw them all in the garbage after you didn't use them up.
hmm
So I'm really very I'm appalled with that. I really am.
but
Years.
what you expect from this is who he is. Like what you I hate to say it, but look at what he created. We are nothing if not our creations.
That
Ah,
is true. That's
okay,
right.
okay, I'm here with
You're right. You definitely right with that one, Jeremy. You're
Look
right.
at what you put out into the world.
you. Yep.
Is the world a better place for what you created or is it
Yeah.
worse?
Is this your legacy that you're leaving? Is this really when people think about you? Is this what all we can think of? Is destruction, manipulation? If that's all we can think of, then you are not living your best life.
And they said that he was a nerd. They said he was a nerd and that he didn't get that much, play in school and things of
It's
nature. So,
given that. It's given
Yeah,
Paul
I was
Monitor.
just about to say that, Summer. That's what it's given.
I honestly think he's handsome.
I think he's
he's
still
a very attractive guy.
Maybe he don't know.
but
He
you know
is.
what?
He's an attractive guy.
There's also personalities that make people unattractive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell a lot of people, I
Yeah.
don't care what you look like. There's a lot of people I might find unattractive physically, but they are beautiful people on the inside. They put out good energy. I feel like on the outside he's good. He's attractive. I wouldn't date him because I know he's on some bull. Let's go to the
Well, you know
next.
what? Let me get your life together and stop out here deceiving people. Get your life and stop sexually getting yourself involved with all these women that definitely are coming against you because there's been a lot of allegations against you. So let's get your life in order.
Hmm
You gotta do all that with these women. There's some there. From what I see is that you're a homosexual. But we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that be. But
Yeah.
you definitely giving
And
homosexual.
Trey, that's a good point too. I was just thinking that, and you saying that was confirmation. You have
Hmm.
Yes.
to honestly, you have to. I think people sell their souls often because they think it's some bullshit. They think that ain't nobody gonna ever come to collect. They think that they ain't never gonna have to pay out. When you sell your soul,
Mm,
somebody is coming to get it. Whether you
Yep.
believe in it or not, that's gonna be immaterial when that man come to get his shit.
hmm
You better say that. Hmm. All right, this next topic.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift man so fine, baby.
Is he?
He fine to me.
No, I
Talking
don't.
about is it?
I don't find
I know it's pink and angry. I know it turned burgundy when he ready to I know it's pink.
I just feel like I don't know. I don't think about him to even say he's unattractive, but I just know I don't find him attractive. If that makes sense.
It do to me because I know why you don't.
Thank you, Summer, for hearing me. But we got Taylor Swift taking legal action against Kanye West.
Yes, and I want to go ahead and give y'all a little bit of this of what's going on here. So it's quite of course everybody knows it's no secret these two have had a history, all type of history beef that's been back and forth type situation, or a little bit of bad blood, I should say. Their issue dates all the way back to 2009 VMAs. I know y'all remember all of that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
This whole thing extends all the way there. Um, so since this whole entire situation have happened, um, new wrinkles have popped up. So I'm reading this from another article or whatnot. I want to give the article from some type. I want to give them some type of analogy. It's Athlon Sports. So since their interaction, new wrinkles have popped up in Swift West feud over the years. And the latest chapter was written just this week when West took to social media, as usual, took to social media to call out Swift by name for being one of the reasons he's never been asked to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show.
Ah,
Then he went on. He said, I never was allowed to do the Super Bowl because of three moments, West wrote in a since deleted post on X. George Bush don't care about black people, the Taylor Swift movement moment, wearing a MAGA hat, how it feel to be the best living and blocked from the main stage because of being ahead of my time. And I mean all of this before I went full expletive. And then it says things escalated on Wednesday night when West went on a social media tirade where he accused Swift, the girlfriend of Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelsey, on engaging in explicit acts with two prominent celebrities, which prompted the blank space singer to send a cease and desist order, according to the Daily Mail.
Hmm.
This time, he has gone too far, a source told the Daily Mail. His claims are not just false, they are defamatory. Can't even speak today.
Defamatory.
Defamatory.
Yes, thank you. This isn't just West gossiping. This is West sexually harassing a woman, defaming her, and intending to cause harm to her and to her career. The report indicates that Swift felt taking legal action was the last but necessary resort because of the frequency of West's public personal attacks. Given how Swift has integrated herself with the Chiefs fan base and the NFL community as a whole, it's unlikely West will be invited to participate in any league hosted events anytime soon.
Here's my thing, and I'm just gonna say this. Out of everything that Kanye has said, there was one moment of truth is when he at the VMAs when he said that Taylor Swift did not deserve to win, but Beyonce definitely should have won Video of the Year, and it was just because that was just the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's he has lack of accountability because who wore the mega hats? He wore it. Like I'm like, who makes all these comments? He does. Like,
Yeah,
and and the thing is, I don't even think he realizes nobody really cares. Like, I don't care what Taylor Swift does, even if it was true. This is not your story. I'm sure we
right
can always
place.
talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like and he does it just because he can, and that's my thing. And someone is gonna have to really, really, really get him, and I feel like no one really gets him because they taking what we call it. They feel bad for him. Everybody said, "Oh, he's emotionally unstable. He's got all these things wrong with him." Ain't nothing wrong with Kanye. And I keep telling people this because once you create a reason for some people, they capitalize on it. Just like I tell people all the time, I don't care if you got a child that has issues mentally or whatever. I'm gonna treat you like a human. You do
Mm-hmm.
something wrong, I'm gonna hold you accountable. So I don't care if you're mentally disturbed. I don't care if you got been through a lot in your life. That is not an excuse to do whatever you want to do. So I don't give Kanye any excuses. I feel like we allow him, and when I say we, I'm just talking about society allows him to do whatever without really punishing him for real. Like
Exactly.
he doesn't care. He done already got it out there. You do a cease and desist. He not talking about you no more. He done got it out until someone really, get him for real, get him financially. He's gonna continue to do this, and I feel like until like if you talk about me, I'm gonna hit you where it hurt in that pocket. Because one thing he does care about is his money.
Well, we got to remember this. Everything that we see is through the lens of our personal experience and our culture.
True.
So
Mm-hmm.
I felt the same way when this happened initially. I was like, Beyonce deserves that award because I love Beyonce. There's a lot of people who love what Taylor Swift does. And that was hard for me to understand and receive too, because I love Beyonce, but I don't think Taylor Swift is on the same level as Beyonce. But there are certain people who feel the reverse of what I do. So in a space of where we respect everyone's opinions, and then all of this shit is made up. The criteria in which they judge art is just bullshit.
Yes.
So we have to accept when somebody created an award and decided to not give it to the person you wanted them to give it to. And then I hate when people don't accept accountability.
Yeah.
You're not going to perform at the Super Bowl because you're a racist piece of shit. You're not going to perform at the Super Bowl because you're constantly antagonizing everybody and you think you're smarter and greater than everybody, and nobody wants to be around that shit. It's a difference between being confident and being
Humble.
conceited. It
Yeah.
is so,
Mhm.
it's such a fine line in being walking in your confidence and getting to the point where your conceit has ruined your life. And then at certain point, we get it. You got some special needs. You going through grief. Effie, we all got
Have
pain.
pain. Definitely. Oh, have
Stop bringing your ass
pain.
round here and expecting Curtis and Dina and Laurel to give a damn. Because we don't.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is another thing too that has come out allegedly. Travis Kelsey wants to have a conversation with Kanye. Um, defamatory. I can't even say the word. I don't know why I can't say this word, Lord. Remarks regarding Taylor Swift's sex life. What sources have said.
But my thing is, Travis, he should just stay out of it. I feel like be the bigger person. If you give what is my boy favorite word, Jeremy, you always say
Credence.
credence. Do not give them man credence. That's really because Kanye is making money every time he says something. He literally making money every time we click on an article. Every time we give him credence, he is making money, and he knows that.
Yeah, don't give it no energy.
Yeah.
Where
They
attention
said that
goes,
the
energy
source,
flows.
but they said that he is incredibly upset over the situation and wants to confront West man to man after West allegations. Kelsey also knows that giving a public response to West's behavior will give more attention to the lies, which, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's true.
I mean, for real, why if it's not true, why say anything? I would not. Okay, just like people can talk shit about Beyonce all day long, right? Since we on
Hmm.
her. When has she ever jumped online and made a video to say that ain't true, or jumped in the comments and said, or made a post, or said anything to debunk anything that anybody said? Believe what you want to believe, bitch. Meet me at the bank.
But Mama
Okay.
Tina though,
Yeah, her mama can do whatever she want. That's
yeah,
not her.
that's
You know
not.
what
Yeah,
I'm
I agree.
saying?
Yeah,
Like, she is not coming off, like, why would I come off of my throne to fumble with peasants? I'm not going to do that. You know what
I
I'm
mean, but
saying?
though,
Like,
this is one thing that I do, fam. This is one thing I do see is that I do agree he's protecting his woman because why is this man come up against my girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, you a man, you coming after a woman. Like,
yeah, but still, what I'm saying is, unless you gonna meet this nigga outside and whoop his ass
yeah.
privately,
Why we exactly?
you know what I'm saying? Anything that you get online and say is filtered through the opinions of billions of people who don't have anything to do with this situation. They
Right.
just, you know, bigging up. That means more attention is going to Kanye's page, more
Hmm.
attention is going to the shit he talking about. Then, some people are trolls just like him. Then they get on there,
Exactly.
oh, it must be true because this he ready to fight about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would handle Kanye with so much class. First of all, you weird motherfucker, you. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and shimmy on over to the fucking courthouse and put a cease and desist on your ass and then sue you for defamation of character.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna mosey on down to the fucking bank and cash that check that you have to pay me for talking about me. Because
What's
see, if you're talking about me,
MGT?
I'm relevant. I
What's
don't know.
MGT?
what?
Something happened.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, town hall,
I'm thinking
six
that's what
arrests and two people. That sound about right.
Oh, so
I'm.
okay.
Wait, what?
Keep
Shut
talking,
it
Summer.
down,
Keep talking,
Jeremy.
Summer. Keep talking, Summer. I'm finna pull this up.
But no, but
That is insane.
yeah, I would definitely hit him in his pockets because first of all, Taylor Swift, even though Beyonce has crossed many lines, like genres. Um, Taylor Swift is financially the bigger star. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that has a lot to do with it because people pay for positions all the time. So maybe she had a couple more coins for that award than that she put up than Beyonce wanted to pay, or whatever. However,
I wanna pause for a second, Summer. I wanna give our viewer, Ella, we're gonna give her a shout out for giving us that information. That she just had sent to us. So one thing that we always want to do, we always want to give recognition to our viewers for whatever piece of news or anything that's popping. That's going on. We also want to give them a shout out. So we do appreciate you for letting us know that. That is wow. That is just very wow. But anyway, go ahead, Summer.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Kanye, please sit down and go ahead to paper doll dressing your wife, and we good.
You know the bitches who know I want to fight them. They don't know until we get in person because I don't really have
Exactly.
too much to say online. I really
Exactly.
don't because I've always been this type of bitch. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm the type to ask you if you wanna go to the bathroom real quick, just me and you. Cause when we reach an impasse, I'm not words ain't gonna be able to settle it. So that's why I don't let myself get to that point very often because let's just go on and figure out the hierarchy.
Right.
Let's go on and figure out where we both stand. And bitches who done had their ass whooped good enough, they know when to be quiet.
That's the part.
They know when to be quiet. So Kanye ain't he ain't got touched the way he should.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Because people who been touched properly, they know when to be quiet.
That is true. That is very true. That is
Baby,
He
very
because I
true.
done
knows
got
who
my ass beat many a day.
he
So
knows who feathers the ruffle.
I'm telling you. So I know when I show enough and ready to fight, I know what comes with that. I'm not gonna be antagonizing people online.
No, at all. Just like Summer said, while you online telling people I'm gonna be out, I'll be outside. If I ain't gonna be outside, some other people gonna be outside. Somebody's gonna handle the situation offline.
Yeah, exactly. That I'm I don't know.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Right.
just that whole situation. I'm sorry, I had just got caught up in that news that we had just got.
I just
I'm
watched the
sorry.
video. Did you watch the
I
video
just got
yet?
yeah. I haven't watched. I was too busy trying to read it all because this is insanity to me.
Yeah,
People
it's
should have a
crazy.
right to speak their mind and say how they feel. So I'm really against. I'm just against this whole entire why can't I speak
Authoritarian.
tonight? Why can't I speak tonight? I'm just like,
It's
God.
okay. It's okay. You got a lot of information going. You got a lot going on.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yes, like I'm just
Like
over it.
that.
I'm just over this regime. There we go. I'm just over this regime. Um, so I do want to kind of like draw to it just for a second, and then we'll basically, since we kind of almost pressed for time anyway, we'll save our last two topics for next week or whatnot. But this was in Cobb County, of
Y'all
course.
want me to show the video?
Can you? Yes.
Yeah. All right. That way y'all can get a visual. It's not long. I mean, it happens as soon as she starts. So bear with me one moment.
Yeah, because we always want to cover breaking news um, as much as we can, especially since we do this live. This whole regime is just a mess.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Little Sally Walker walking down the street.
Hey.
She didn't know what to do, so she jumped in front of me. I said, "Go home, girl. Shake that thing, stop."
I know that's right. All right. Here we go, y'all.
It's been a great day.
Oh, it has been.
Everybody's really
I've
excited.
enjoyed all of it. I feel blessed to have y'all in the district.
Good. God bless you.
Thank you.
It's happening now.
Can I take this off? Oh, this is wired. Okay. Well, welcome everyone.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to our great police officers. Thank you.
That's the only video they have, y'all.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't either, because I feel like you said, they should have, everyone should have the right to protest.
Yes, everybody definitely should have the
Well,
right
we
to
already
protest.
know where we are, don't we?
Mhm.
Don't we know where we are? Because if
Mhm.
we don't, then that's more of a problem. Like at some point, we got to stop being shocked, at what's going on,
Mm.
because we know the mind of the man who's making these decisions. This is the same person who purposely enraged a group of people so that they can run up in the White House. Now you tell me how these people can run up in the White House, which should have the best security ever. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is all the big ass diversion and a distraction so that whatever, the agenda is can be made for, like, think about them videos when people are trying to teach their dog to eat something or whatever, and then they be like, here you go, and when the dog don't take it, then they beat the shit out of the dog,
Yeah,
animal, and then the dog be like, oh well, let me have some then, or what, or the kid or whatever,
out of
like
fear.
they're doing this
Hmm.
to put instill fear. It's
Mm.
up to us to realize that this shit ain't what we think it is. They stage shit like this all the time. Like when they were doing other rallies and stuff, and they the guy who car supposedly blew up and all this, these people, they be doing on purpose, like these is
Hmm.
actors that they have sent to be filmed so that they can control the narrative. This country wants us to be in fear of the
Hmm.
government and of our presidential leader. So everything that they are showing us, this shit is not by accident. They are doing this intentionally so that we can stop wanting to go protest, because
Mhm.
we're in fear that something like this is going to happen to us. It's a way to silence and oppress us. And it's up to us to be able to use discernment to decipher what's true and what's untrue, and
Mhm.
how we're going to go about it. Now is not the
Hmm.
time to be falling into. First of all, wasn't that fake news reporting? Fake five? Didn't
Oh
that
yeah,
come off of fake five?
False
Okay,
five. You right about it. You got it.
Summer,
so
you got such a good point. And I just read some good news too. Uh for the 13th consecutive week, Target's foot traffic and revenue has decreased significantly. And for the 13th consecutive
Yes.
week, Costco's foot traffic and revenue has increased significantly.
perfect.
So we have very clear signs of where we are and what we need to do. Because let me tell you this. Let me tell you about me. I got a red car, and I used to go down to the Target just to fool la la and bullshit. I used to be in there sipping Slurpees and going down to the Starbucks in the $5 aisle. I ain't been up in there since. And let me tell you about me. It hurts so much deeper. I think that's why we mad at Kanye. It hurts deep when we thought somebody got it. His
Hmm.
perspective from an impoverished, talented person going into fame was so valued. We felt seen. With Target, we felt seen. And when they transgress against us, it hurts so deeply. Target hurt me. I was like, of all the places, I thought you was going to have something. I thought you was going to stand 10 toes down, and you folded. It hurts
Folded
so deep.
and folded fast. They folded real fast.
I want some of them good ass breadsticks they be having down there and them pizza slices. The popcorn nasty, but we forgave them for that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Summer. But one thing about it is we're not going to stop resisting. We're going to continue resisting because of this. And this brings me to my solemn point right here. This was back in Utah the other day. Over 20,000 people at Fight Oligarchy for Bernie and AOC in Utah. And this is just a little snippet of a video just of how many people was filled up into this place.
That's not what they want. They know that it is deeply unpopular. They know that it hurts working families from Utah. But they know that
Exactly. So we're gonna continue resisting.
Viva la resistance.
Uh-oh,
For real.
Jeremy. Okay, you on mute? Yeah, you on mute, Jeremy.
I'm talking shit.
We ain't heard him,
Listen,
none of
We
it.
Bernie,
all we can see was your.
we can't get distracted by this either. Bernie and AOC are not gonna win no election. I was silent because Kamala was all we had at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
this go round, we got to get it right, and they are not right. I like them both, but they not gonna win no election.
I
It's
like
just
what,
what
but
it
you know,
is.
I like what they doing though, Jeremy. I like that they pulling these people, they pulling people out, and they letting people be able to have their voices heard at different places and different rallies, and then
Yeah.
they also too, along with the protests and the mass protests and things of that nature. Like this is really, really, really good.
It
Having these
is,
numbers.
but we
Ella
can't
said,
get
"I saw that
distracted.
earlier."
It's
She said, "I saw it earlier, and it was amazing to see.
Yeah.
We need this candle burning bright." Exactly.
We
I think
need a
what really
star.
happens.
I was quiet about it before, but we can't afford it this time. We need a star. And if they don't start putting their foot in, Cory Booker made a promising display before.
Yes.
We got to start identifying those people who are not just saying the right things, because let's be clear, Bernie and AOC, they saying the right things. I'm standing
Mm-hmm.
with them, but they are not stars. And
Right.
that is
Not
clearly a
anymore, right?
component now. It's a component. It always has been, but it's really a component of the race now. We need someone with charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, as Mother Rue would say.
I hear
And
you. I hear
and
you.
they just got the nerve.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, Jeremy? And I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I think what's really happening in modern day, is that we have a regime, as Chris uh, so eloquently stated. We have a regime that actually holds our media in the palm of their hands, because we don't have any left wing media anymore. We don't even have any neutral media anymore, because it's all run by
Trey,
the
she's in the
MAGA and all of
14th.
this stuff. And I feel like in order to be heard in nowadays, because you're not going to hear that anymore on CNN. They're not going to cover it like they used to, because it's not what they want to be put out there. So things like that, how we're doing it, we make sure we're talking about it. Uh, it has to be more of it, more of something like
Mm-hmm.
this. It has to be something, and we also have to, there's more ways. We're not supposed to be a monolithic, uh, type of group of people. We're supposed to be able to do a lot of things. We also,
Obama won because he was a star. Bill Clinton
absolutely,
won because he was a star. Donald
and
Trump won because he is a
it's a start,
star.
and they
You
stole
can
the
say
election.
what you want about that man, and God knows you know how I feel about him. But we need somebody who is going to be able to capture the minds and interests of people who they may not agree with.
Come
We
on,
need
Jeremy,
to start
let you win.
talking
You
about
got my
it.
support.
Yeah, we need. I mean, I can't be no. You better be lucky the Lord be holding my tongue, because I almost said something.
I can hear you now during the debate.
But
See, I ain't got no time for. I would
Trey
give
did
you
Trey did
credits.
have a question though. He did have a question
Oh yeah,
about
he's Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the 14th district. That's around Rome, Calhoun. Rome is the biggest town. That's downward from Dayton. It's near Chattanooga where it stops. So
Her
she has a
district
pretty
also
big
covers
district.
parts of. It also covered parts of Austell.
Yeah. So
Thank
if
you,
you
Summer.
want to know, it's Jethro and Ellie Mae and Granny. It ain't a dentist for Miles. It ain't a drop of soap for Miles. It's you know who you're dealing with.
Yes, 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 and
Redneck.
Mm-hmm.
right, and that's why I still for the life of me I still don't understand how she how I don't know I really don't.
It's
I'm
just a
still
situation. We
lost
know
on
what
her.
happens when you have low voter turnout and folks that she's in the right district. She when she was placed in that district, she knew exactly that she'll be a force for years.
I got something else to say, Rachàd.
Go ahead.
There's these unspoken things that we don't talk about that need to have light shown up. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. We are not talking enough about two very important things.
Hmm.
People are voting for people who are racist.
Hmm.
They're going to
Yes,
push their agenda. There is this underlying unspoken thing. She's for us, she supports us. They're voting for racism and they're voting to keep the status quo. America, Make America Great Again was founded under the idea of when America was great for white men who run this country.
Hmm.
It's
hmm,
never been great for anyone else. So when they're speaking from, again, like I said earlier, their perspective and their cultural ideas. That's the perspective they're speaking of. They're saying the great replacement theory, all of that is the underlying, seething, boiling thing that is pushing all of this feud. That's the thing nobody's really talking about. 80, not even 80 anymore. I think it's 89% of the Fortune 500 companies are ran by white men. That's what runs this country. That's what has the
yes.
global economy where it is. That is the status quo. And if you think they're going to let y'all come in here with your liberal ideas, you're wrong. So
Because the
everything
truth
we
is
have, we
they
got to
don't
fight
want to
for.
end racism. They they
Yeah.
No,
they
no, you don't.
racism is what keeps the white agenda alive. So
Hmm.
if they actually made it fair or equal like it should be, then they wouldn't be in the lead. So therefore
Hmm.
they would never ever want that to happen. And all of the people who are behind the scenes that we don't see that are racist and white and male, they are pushing anybody ahead in the race that is going to keep them where they are because nobody wants to lose their status, um and all of that. That's why those judges and those officers that's been in they old as hell, they should have been out of they seat,
You're
and
right, Trey.
they haven't been. Yep, and that's
There's
what
a
that
lot of
is,
people who
period.
are, you know, amongst our community who actually prefer, and I've heard it during this last election. Well, at least I know where he stands. At least I know. They always say how they was talking about Kamala Thomas. I don't know where her platform is. What you mean you don't know? Y'all don't like reading? Like that used to get on my nerves. Like y'all don't want to read. Yeah, the main thing is people don't want to know. People
No.
love what they're familiar with, and that's one of the things I don't like about our community. There's so many people who they don't want change because they fear something different. A lot of people didn't want to see women step up. There are a lot of people in our community that want to see the LGBT community be, to have rights. And I'm gonna go 10 toes down. And I know there's some people that I probably know well that did not vote for Kamala because of just this one single issue, LGBT rights.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. That is very true, and that's been a very big stigma, and in this country, is just I say this: people should be able to live how they want to live. It ain't affecting you. Nobody's in your
Hmm.
what people do in their house. That's their business. Why are you worried about what the next man or woman is doing? Stop worried about what
Because
they're
they
doing.
putting it on social media and telling people they have to accept it. If they would keep what they doing
Mhm.
in their bedroom and in their house in their damn house, then nobody would know. How can they discriminate against you if they don't know that that's an issue? Or
Mm-hmm.
for them to make issue with. It's that group of people that wants to have a parade and tell everybody this is what we are and everyone must accept it. For me, that's troubling because heterosexuals, even if that is what they do, they're only doing it to come against you for saying that you're the
Mm-hmm.
opposite.
Right.
So if you just would shut it down, nobody can tell you what restroom to use if you in a dress and you go in the girls' restroom. Nobody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, are you really a girl or a boy?"
Right.
Nobody's gonna ever fucking ask that question. You
Right.
go in there, piss, and get out. That's what happens. But the fact that you want to say there should be a transgender restroom is why it's a problem because you're
Mhm.
putting people in business that's none of theirs.
Right. Once you bring people in, I tell people all the time the biggest hurdle around LGBT rights is white supremacy, and and when the white supremacy hijacked, and y'all got to hear me, when they hijacked LGBT rights, that's when things went left. Because to be honest, it lost its voice. We were doing fine until everybody wanted to make an issue, and I told people all the time, why y'all fighting for rights to get married? Who told y'all couldn't get married? Go get married.
Mhm.
I'm like, that was never. And then I was like, well, let's now define marriage between a man and a woman. We were fine
Right.
before
It's
because
because you said something.
they never defined it. So let's leave it alone. But now they want to go, And if you look at the forefront of all LGBT rights, in modern day, because gay rights was nothing new. When it came to modern day, everybody was like, "I'm queer. We're queer. I'm butt naked on Peachtree," and I'm like, that is not really something that has anything to do with rights. No, you don't have a right to walk around Peachtree Street butt ass naked. You don't have that right, but you do have a
Mhm.
right to exist and be treated equally under the law. But we kind of lose it when you kind of throwing it, because I feel like for me, that ain't me. I'm not that kind of gay. I just want to live my life
Yeah.
and be unbothered.
They should have fought for human rights instead of
Inclusive.
saying,
Yes.
I have the
Inclusive.
right to be. Yeah, yeah. No, I just have the right to be a human being in this world.
Mhm.
Period. I shouldn't get
Mhm.
treated any differently for anything else. There's plenty of heterosexual men or claiming to be heterosexual men who get pegged by their women. You understand? So but everybody's not
Mhm.
on a platform talking about it, like
That's
there's
so true.
plenty of heterosexual quote unquote men who sleep with gay men and don't tell people about it, but as long as
Mhm.
we all know that it's happening. But if you ain't standing on your podium or your little soapbox telling people about it, then it can't be an issue. They're just gonna find something to take issue with because
Right.
you said so.
Because you told them, you put them in your
Exactly.
business. You're correct. I know it's getting
And
late,
you
though.
know what? And that's one thing. Like I said, this the whole thing is just a mess. I look at this, and I want to say this before we close out. We'll find out if this orange stain on our country
In the world.
will roll out martial law come this weekend, because the date is was 420
You and me
for
will
him.
always be tied.
What was
Single day and night.
Jeremy is so mute.
Jimmy got
that?
checked out.
I'm so dead. Um, but no, we'll find out this coming week, because he was supposed to get the information back from the committee that he sent out on inauguration day to for us to know if that's what he's going to do or not. So yeah, but you know what? The thing is, even with that, that's not a scare tactic to me. I don't look at it as a scare tactic. I look at it as my thing is, keep us informed. You know, the more we know, the more we can prepare ourselves for whatever is to come.
Hmm.
And that's what it is to me. That's the reason why I stay glued to what I know. That's the reason why I'm a proud member of being a registered member of the press, because I like to be informed. I don't like to be caught off guard. I hate being caught off guard. I don't even like surprises. Um, So I like to be well informed so then I can always prepare myself to what is to come. It's never to do any type of scare tactics or trying to bring people into fear, because the more we know, the better we are equipped to prepare for what's to come, than rather us not knowing and not being caught off guard. The worst thing you could ever have in life is to be caught off guard and not knowing what you're up against. That's the worst
Yeah,
thing.
but the government is who I was talking about, the news and the
Oh no,
orange
no, no, no.
thing.
I was just stating the fact. I was just stating the fact that
Yeah.
yeah, just
We need to recognize that we know that that's what they doing to us.
hmm yeah. It was just more of a more of just basically making sure that we are informed. And that's the reason why I love doing this show. Even though I love what we talk about, especially when it comes down to our trending topics and hot topics for with all these foolish celebrities and whoever and whatever they got going on. But when it comes down to us as a people, I love to keep my people informed. That's one of the reasons I ran for office back in 2017, was to help my community, to make sure that I was going to be that representative that everybody could count on and to lean on and to know that they can get things done that need to be done, to fight the good fight, that needed to be fought. And that's where I stand. I've always been an advocate of, standing for people's rights and making sure that people are not being bullied on and having that voice, being that voice for the people. I always had said when I was running for office that I'm the voice of the voiceless, the people that, don't have a voice, but they want a voice, but they don't have it enough to be able to go out and fight. So that's what it was for me.
Oh, alrighty.
But yeah, so on that note,
Yeah,
we
good
again
show.
we do yeah we do appreciate and thank all of our viewers. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to all of our topics because of the breaking news, but one thing about it is we'll be back with it next week, and we will
Can
follow
I
up
play
like I
my
said.
I have my ad for tomorrow
Hmm.
for karaoke. Can I just post it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead with announcements. Go ahead.
All right. So next what I say next week. Next tomorrow. What am I talking about? Tomorrow, let me bring it up. Also each and every Wednesday we have karaoke at Mix 1492 Suite B, Piedmont Avenue, 30309. We have karaoke. It opens at 9:30. Of course, I get a little later. Each and every Wednesday, we go all the way uh, to 3 o'clock. But
Yeah, I
this
was
is
about to say about saying y'all going about 3 o'clock.
yep. So this is us. We got Troy, our host, along with me, our co-host Lamar, and of course Rick, DJ Rick. He did show up and comment a little bit. He said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" But y'all make sure y'all check us out if y'all in Atlanta. It's free all night, free parking, uh, free entry all night. The parking lot is huge, so you don't have to worry about trying to park far. And we have drink specials. The kitchen should be open, all that good stuff. And that's it.
Yes, yes. So y'all make sure y'all come out there. Like I said, I want to say too. It's always a vibe at Mix on Wednesdays. I mean, Wednesdays is
Mhm.
always a vibe. So y'all make sure y'all go out. If y'all are here in Atlanta, make sure y'all get out there, support them. Because like I said, they do their thing on Wednesday nights. But Mix is always a vibe. It don't matter what day you go out. You can go out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's always a vibe. So make sure y'all stop in the Mix. If y'all here in Atlanta, if you live in Atlanta, definitely jump out there. And definitely catch Rachàd on Wednesdays and Sundays.
Yeah, you can sing a song. Oh, poets. If you are a comedian, if you have your own instrument you want to come play, we accept it all. If you're an artist and you want to get your music out there, come see us.
Yes, yes, yes. Anybody else? Y'all got anything? Summer, Jeremy?
Nope.
So
Come on, cold shoulder.
no, it was this for me. The chest rub, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, chest rub.
Yeah, nothing's going on, but I do want to see if I can pull up on you, Rashad.
Okay, I'll be
I don't know
around.
which day, cause Wednesday you be out past my bedtime, baby.
You did give me that
But
warning. You did
Sunday,
tell me that. You did
but
tell me that.
Sunday we might be on to something.
Sunday is a big day. We got some going. That's a big day for me. Sunday is gonna be a lot. I'm trying to decide if I'm even going to church. I gotta doing a little uncle duty as well, and then my cousin's trying to get together for 420. So
It is for yep, Easter and 420. Yeah, that's a lot going on Sunday. I keep forgetting that.
mhm.
I keep forgetting that. I don't know how I keep forgetting that Easter is Sunday and then it's 420 and then it's a
I ain't worried
lot
about
going
neither one of them, so I'm gonna be free to.
But I think I don't. I need to ask if they're gonna extend the hours. On I'm gonna see if they'll extend hours because normally on a holiday, this clubs stay open past 12. Because right now, thanks to Shirley Franklin, clubs close at 12. Yeah,
which is
I still see her.
just ridiculous.
Hey,
But
stand.
anyway, we do thank all of our viewers. We do appreciate you, and we also appreciate with you guys sending us with as far as with topics or anything that you guys want us to talk about. We are here to talk about it. Again, I want to shout out to JR again. I want to appreciate you and Ella for giving that topic, that breaking news from the Marjorie
Yes,
Taylor
thank you.
Greene situation. I do appreciate you and thank you for being a viewer. Um, and to everybody else, we hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. We hope that we were be a delight to your week
Excuse me.
as well. And make sure you tune in again to our show next Tuesday at 7:30. Make sure you follow our YouTube channel, The Extraordinary Network. It's at the bottom. Make sure you subscribe, like, and follow our channel. Also, too, for those that are on Facebook, make sure you follow and you like our Facebook page. We have grown tremendously on Facebook. We are trying to grow tremendously on YouTube right now with Facebook. We're at 515 likes and 718 followers. So we really appreciate all of those people that love us and that show us love. And we can't
Mm.
thank you guys enough. And then also, if you also feeling, a little gracious and a little nice, you can send us some stars. We do take those as well. Go ahead and show us a little love or whatnot. So, all of that we really do appreciate it. It goes a long way and it continues helping us be able to, give you guys more and more news each and every week as well. Anybody else have anything to say before we officially close out this show?
Nope.
Nothing else.
All right. Well, until then, I hope you all have a wonderful, extraordinary week and many blessings come to you and come your way as well.
Till next
Rashad?
time, I'm Rashad West. Y'all stay connected to our creator. Stay connected in love.
All right.
Bye. Deuces.